gone to church for as long as I can remember. For all of those years, I've always come up with reasons why I should not get baptized, so I'll share a few of those with you today. My church at home allowed you to get baptized at 13, so in high school I considered, should I get baptized? At the time I thought, I don't feel this overwhelming sense or feeling to get baptized, so I figured I wasn't there yet, right? I thought that I should feel just really, so convicted to go and proclaim my faith. So I was like, okay, let me wait, try to increase that feeling until I get there. In high school, I actually stopped going to church for multiple reasons. One was because I didn't feel in with the in-crowd at church. Another was I wanted to go out with my friends on Fridays, this weekend on Sundays. But I had also started wondering, how do you really know God is there? I had classmates at school who were really vocal about their atheism, and I just shuddered at the thought of them asking me questions about my faith and me not being able to respond. So didn't that mean I wasn't ready yet if I didn't know? So, I figured I should work on some apologetics, read like The Case for Christ and all these other books, so I'd be prepared, I'd know what to say, then I'll get baptized. So baptism on hold again. Then I got into Cal. In SoCal, I'd heard a bunch of stories about college professors making all the Christian students in their class stand up and going like, "You're stupid for being religious." And I was like, being persecuted. And I was like, oh my God, my flickering faith that's already kind of weak is going to be stamped out completely at such a liberal college. When I got to Cal, not only did I find out that that doesn't really happen, but I also found a university where I was reassured that actually Christians don't always know all the answers, and that's okay. And that was kind of mind-blowing for me. University is also where I learned to live out God's heart for social justice, for caring for those that the world has cast aside. And I loved those values. And I could see myself kind of owning those values in my real life, not just in church. So here I considered getting baptized again. For the first time, I actually felt plugged in enough to a faith community, where I felt like people understood where I was coming from and really knew me for me. But, and you start to see a theme here, I didn't feel plugged in enough to a church that would be able to baptize me. Parachurches, am I right? But I was also wary of doing it out of some weird sense of peer pressure. Most of my friends, now that I'm surrounded by a lot of other Christians at Ivy, they had grown up in the church, so I felt kind of behind for not getting baptized already. So I didn't want that to be the reason why I got baptized. And most of all, I still had these lingering doubts about my faith. In my head, I imagined spiritual maturity as some sort of pyramid where there's these solid foundational beliefs and then you kind of build up from there. So if I couldn't say in every moment that I knew beyond a doubt that Jesus was present and powerful and real, that meant my foundation wasn't completely solid, so how could I build up from there? So, and I can't be authentically baptized if my foundation isn't completely solid, so gotta work on that, hold on. So that brings us to today, a few years out of college and into the real world. And to be honest, not a lot has changed. I've wanted and prayed for a life-shattering conversion moment. It's kind of like a retreat high, but maybe even bigger, where God speaks audibly to me or shows me a miraculous sign. I've berated myself for not more dutifully reading the Bible, doing devotions, praying regularly, reading more Christian books, all these things I told myself to do in the past but never fully gone for. I've had friends who speak confidently of God as someone who teaches them and meets with them and speaks to them, and I wondered, why is it so hard for me to feel that same clarity or to hear God in that same way? Surely, I thought, my lack of feeling God is a direct result of my own sins, flaws, and shortcomings. And I think on some level that's true. I'm broken, I'm fallen, and so it makes sense that my connection with God is broken as well. And yet, there is grace in the form of Jesus coming down to us, to me. I want to know God, and I want to trust that God will meet me where I am. And so I'm thankful that God is the giver of faith, because how bleak it would be if it were up to me. I cling, or at least I'm trying to cling, to his promises of justice in this broken world, and to his promises of grace in our broken lives, in my broken life. I certainly don't know all the answers, but today I proclaim my faith in a God who does. By no means does this relegate me to a passive life. This is only the beginning of a lifelong effort to seek after God and his glory. And I ask all of you as my community to keep me accountable in that, in challenging me to dig deep, ask questions, seek answers, so to live and love boldly, and even just to make space to hear and wait for God. And I also encourage you as my community to share your own stories, not just with me, but with others as well. I know I often feel as though my faith or my actions aren't enough compared to what I see or hear. And so I just think it'd be so rich to be able to share our struggles with one another and to also encourage one another in centering our lives on God. So today, I rest assured knowing that I don't have to carry the burden of my doubt and my apathetic heart on my own. God alone is my strength, my refuge, the giver and the increaser of my faith. And thank God for that. God, I believe, help my unbelief.